Hello students, welcome to discrete mathematics lecture. In this lecture we have to discuss about the predicates and the quantifiers. Okay, in my previous lecture I have already discussed about the logics, mathematical logic, what is meant by proposition, and this is the more advanced version of proposition. Okay, that is called a predicates and quantifier. So why the predicates and quantifier came into the picture, that we need to see first. Okay, see, propositional logic is not enough, means there are some such statements exist that you cannot represent into the propositions. Okay, so see here we have example, all men are mortal. Okay, and the Socrates is a man. Okay, so can you represent these statements into the propositional logic? No, because there are some variables, there are some properties, and there are some relations involved in these statements. Okay, what is meant by variables? Variables means all the mans. Okay, so there are many number of people are there. Okay, and from those people, we have to consider some people here. Okay, so all man, or we have to consider the complete domain. Okay, so see here, all mans are there. Okay, are mortal. Mortal is the property of those man. Okay, so how you can represent this into the proposition? Okay, so you might be know about the proposition. Proposition always give you the answer in the true and false. Okay, all men are mortal. Can you give me the answer in the true and false? No. Okay, Socrates is a man. Okay, so Socrates is a man. You cannot give the answer into true and false. Okay, so does it follows the Socrates is a mortal? Okay, so this is called the inference, guys. Okay, so you have got this inference from these two statements. Okay, can't be represent. Okay, so these two statements can't be represent in a propositional logic. Okay, need a language that talks about objects, their properties, their relations. So there is a requirement for a language which talks about the objects like all the mans, their properties like a mortal, and their relations. So is a, this is the relation statement. So for that we need a language. Okay, and later we need to see how we can draw a re-inference from these statements. Okay, so let's see here. Introducing the predicate logic. Now why the predicate came into the picture, that we already understood. Okay, because the propositions are not enough to represent all these statements into the mathematical form. That's why we need to use a predicates. Okay, see what is meant by predicate. Predicate logic uses the following new features. Okay, so there are three features. First of all, variables, predicates, and quantifiers. Okay, so quantifiers we will discuss later on. First of all, we need to discuss about the variables. Variables x, y, z's. Okay, so these are the variables or objects. You can take any. Okay, like a, b, c, d, x, y, z, I, j, k, whatever you want. Okay, and this is called a predicates. Basically we called it as a predicate functions. Okay, so you might be know about the functions. Okay, so function, there is a function definition. Okay, so all these things are also involved in this predicate functions. Okay, or we called it as a propositional functions. Okay, so see here, propositional functions are a generalization of propositions. Okay, so now we need to discuss about the proposition, how we can convert these statements into the proposition. Okay, if you are able to change that statement into the proposition, means you can able to answer the answer into the true and false format, then you can say that those statements are converted into the proposition. Because whenever you talked about proposition, you always need to talk about the inference, that is you are getting true or the false value. Okay, see here, propositional function, they contain variables and the predicates. Example p, this is called a predicate and this is called a variable, that is x. Okay, we need to see how we can represent any statement into this p and x form. Okay, that we will see later on. Variables can be replaced by the element from the domain. Okay, so domain means there is a set of elements you already have, like in the previous statement, all mains. Okay, so in the all mains there are some individual mains are involved. Okay, from those individual mains you can take a one male person instead of this x. Okay, so the x is acting like a variable. Okay, so instead of x you can put any value from the domain. Domain means a set. Okay, let's see here. Propositional functions, we need to discuss about it. Propositional functions become a propositions. Okay, see, propositional functions become a propositions. Become a proposition means it has a truth values. Okay, it has a truth values when their variables are each replaced by a value from the domain. So in the previous lecture we already discussed, if you have the variables into the statement, then that statement need not to be a proposition. Okay, whenever you have a variables into the statement, means x plus 3 is equals to 5. So is this a proposition? No, because it depends on your x that the statement is true or false. Okay, if you are just writing x plus 3 equals to 5, so you are not getting the inference that this statement is true or not. Okay, means that is not a proposition. Okay, so if you are replacing those variable with the value from the domain, then you can say that propositional functions is converted to the proposition. Okay, the statement p of x is said to be the value of a propositional function p at x. Okay, so if you are replacing this x with any value, then you will get some value. That value might be a true, that value might be a false. So how you can say that that value is a propositional function p at a particular variable x. Okay, means p of x is true, then p is true on this x. Okay, so whatever the value of x you are taking. Okay, see here, for example, p of x, this is the function. Okay, propositional function denotes x is greater than 0. Okay, so this is your function definition. You called it as a function definition. Okay, domain be the integer. Okay, and your domain is set of the value you can put in this x instead of this x is the integers value, because your domain is integers. Then now tell me, can you give me the answer of these statements into the true and false? Yes, you can give. See here, p minus 3. Okay, so value of x is minus 3. Now check with the definition, x is greater, needs to be greater than 0. If x is greater than 0, then your statement is true. Okay, so this is called a false statement because minus 3 is less than 0. Now p of 0 you are getting here. 0 is greater than 0. Again false you are getting. P the value of x is 3 here, then now the statement is true because 3 is greater than 0. So this is called a proposition now, because you replace this x with the some values from the domain. Okay, so what is your domain? Domain is your integer numbers. Okay, now see, often the domain is denoted by a u. So whenever you want to denote any domain, then you can represent this symbol u. Okay, so in this example u is integer. U means the domain, and domain is the integer in this example. Okay, let's see here, this is the next example. Let the function definition is x plus y is equals to z. Okay, be the denoted by the propositional function r x comma y comma z. Okay, so instead of x and y on z, you can replace this value from the domain numbers. Okay, and what is your domain? Domain is u for all three variables. For all three variables, domain is same u, and this u domain is integer domain. Okay, means you can replace this x, y, z with the integer values. Okay, so find these truth values. Okay, so you need to find out the truth value for this. Okay, so r2 comma minus 1 comma 5. So you just need to replace x with the 2, y with the minus 1, and z with the 5. Okay, so replace it. 2 minus 1 equals to 5. Is it true? No, that's why your solution is false. Okay, r 3 comma 4 comma 7. Okay, so 3 plus 4 is 7. So this is true. This statement is true, guys. Okay, now x comma 3 comma z. Again you are getting x and z here. So these are the variables, and if you are getting a variable into the statement, means that is not a proposition. See the example number 2. Now x minus y is equals to z. This is your function definition. Okay, from this propositional function definition. be the denoted by q x comma y comma z. Okay, this is called a function, propositional function. Okay, with u is your integers, means your domain is integers. Integers might be a positive, negative, whatever. Find the truth values. Okay, so you need to find out the truth value. Q x is replaced with 2, y is replaced with -1, and z is replaced with 3. So 2 minus minus 1 equals to 3. So minus minus 1, you will get a plus 1. 2 plus 1 equals to 3. That's why this statement is true. Q 3 comma 4 comma 7. Okay, so 3 minus 4 equals to 7. So 3 minus 4 means you are getting -1 here. -1 is not equals to 7. That's why this statement is false. Okay. Now next is propositional function is gives you x comma 3 comma y, z. Okay. So you can replace this, you cannot replace this x and y because this is the question, and in the question you are getting a variables. Okay, and if you are getting a variables into the statement, it means you cannot give the answer in the form of true and false. Okay, if you are not able to give the answer into the true and false format, then that is not a proposition, guys. Okay, I hope this propositional functions is a very easy topic and you are getting that topic. Okay, if you are not understood, then you can see these lectures one again. Okay, now see here, here you have a compound expression. Okay, connectives from the propositional logic carry over the predicates logic. Okay, so you can use the connectives. We already know the what are the connectives: and, or, if, then biconditional operator, not. So this kind of connectives you also use into this predicate logic. Okay, so see here, if p of x denotes x is greater than 0. Okay, so this is your definition, this is your function. Find these truth values. Okay, so see here, p of 3 or p of -1. Okay, so this is OR operator, means if anyone is true, then it is true. Okay, so let's see for this p of 3. Is 3 is greater than 0? Yes, this is true. And -1 is greater than 0? No, this is false. Okay, this is false. But we have the connectives OR. So in the OR, if anyone is true, then the statement is true. So this kind of connectives you can use between the two predicate logics. Okay, so this is called a predicate logic, this is called a predicate logic. You can call it as a propositional function also. Okay, now p of 3 and p of -1. Okay, so see here, p of 3, this is true, but this is false. And what is the rule for ANDing? For the rule for the ANDing is, if anyone is false, then it is false. And for this predicate logic, I am getting a false. That's why the solution is false. Expression with the variable are not propositions. Okay, or the expressions with the variables are not propositions. We already know if the variables are involved into the statements or into the mathematical logic, then that will not be a proposition. Okay, therefore do not have the truth value. See here, p3 and py. Okay, so this statement is true, no doubt, but you don't know the truth value of this statement, py. So y is the variable, guys. So instead of y, you will get any value. Okay, so you are not sure, and this is not a proposition. That's why this complete statement is not a proposition. Okay, p of x gives p of y. Okay, so again, x and y, these are the variables, and you don't know the values of the variables. That's why you cannot predict that the statement is true or false. Okay, when used with quantifiers, okay, so this statement also we can convert into the proposition, but for that we have to use a quantifiers. Okay, and that we need to see into the next lecture. Okay, but there is a concept like quantifiers that can convert such kind of statement into the proposition. Okay, so see here, when we used with the quantifiers that we will discuss later on, this expression or the propositional functions become a propositions. Okay, so you need to convert these statements into the proposition, and for that you need to use the quantifiers. Okay, so in the next lecture we will see about the quantifiers. Okay, thank you. If you have any doubt, then you can post into the comment section. Thank you.